Hi there, you're an engineering graphics and design student and I am an EGD teacher, and in 2025 you need to complete an EGD PAT task, and for that reason I've created the How to Hack Your PAT series only on HowToEGD. And in this series of videos I'll be detailing and zooming in on every component, every requirement that you need to do to successfully complete your EGD civil PAT task as a grade 12. And I'm going to do so through step-by-step tutorials while underpinning the credibility and the integrity of this PAT. So there's not going to be any free handouts, any free samples. You're going to have to work for it. But with my instruction and guidance, you'll know exactly what's the expectation and what needs to be done in every part of this PAT. And we're going to start right now by just doing a quick overview of the EGD PAT. And after that, the videos will follow, starting with a design brief and ending right at the end with putting all of these drawings together into a complete PAT portfolio. And so if you are an all access member, you will have access to these videos. If you're not, you need to click on the join button and join as an all access member. That way you will have unlimited access to these specifically designed video tutorials talking about the 2025 EGD Civil PAT for grade 12. So without any further ado, let's get straight into an overview of what you can expect in this year's EGD PAT. Let's get going. This here is the Engineering Graphics and Design PAT document, the official guideline. It is available as a download in the description. I'm going to just quickly run you through the couple of important parts here. This actual PAT is going to make up 25% of your total NSC marks. So people, it really is important. This 25 plus the school-based assessment plus paper 1 and paper 2 makes up your 400 marks for the certificate. The second thing that's important here is that you need to complete this entire PAT as an individual. All the presentation requirements here must be your own work. There's nothing here that you can copy. Secondly, the PAT must be of appropriate higher order complexity for a grade 12 learner. So it cannot look like your younger sister or brother did this. This needs to be of a high quality standard. You also need to use only pencils in all of your drawings. So no pens, Cokies, etc., coloring pens, just plain pencils is required for your drawings. And then lastly, this document also provides a checklist that is at the very end of this document, and this checklist will be talked about in a lot of detail in the coming videos. So those things just important for you to take note of. Let's now, together with some pictures that helps you gain an understanding of this PAT, look at the actual scenario. So first of all, this page is written in a paragraph form, and of course it's for you to gain some understanding. But take a pen like I'm going to do now, because as I'm going to read, I'm going to be highlighting those important factors that's actually in the end going to be your specifications, your constraints, etc. So let's start. So you're in a small town and you're going to have to design a bed and breakfast facility. This town is booming. There's an ever-growing demand by business people, and you're in a suburb that's got a modern design. So all new houses in this area needs to fit this modern design style. Secondly, this new house that you're going to design is going to be used as a bed and breakfast facility, and it needs to be a single story, of course. That's also important. So let's look at the structure. Single story brick structure with a modern design. And the shape of it needs to be in such a way that it can accommodate a heap and valley roof design. Very important to understand what is a heap and valley and how does that influence your design. We will look at that in future videos. The building must cover an area of no more than 215, and this is a firm 215. There's no way yours can be larger than 215. So maybe 216, they'll be fine. But when you get to 230, 240, you're way over this. 215 is your limit. The roof must have 400 millimeter overhangs all around the building with fascia boards, gutters, downpipes on all sides of this building. And then the roof covering must be IBR roof sheeting. So no tile roofs, just IBR roof sheeting. All the rooms, including the lounge, dining room, kitchen, bathrooms, must have appropriately sized aluminium frame windows. And they emphasize here the fact that natural light is important. All right. As a suburb in which the building is situated is prone to flooding, a set of 4 standard steps, please take note of this, must lead up to a 2-meter wide uncovered, so no roof over this veranda, 2-meter wide uncovered veranda, which must be an extension of the concrete floor slab. This concrete floor slab is the inside of the house. It's the actual floor on the inside. So what it's actually saying is that this floor slab must be the same height on the inside as well as on the outside where the veranda is. So it's going to be a level surface between walking from the inside of the house to the outside onto the veranda. Then that veranda needs to run the full length of the front of the building and with a modern glass balustrade that keeps people from falling off. Remember, that's 4 standard steps, so you're about a half a meter above the natural ground level, and therefore you need a balustrade. And that balustrade must be on all sides. Leading off the veranda must then be a modern oversized pivot entrance door, and that opens into a reception area. So as guests enter, they will check in at reception. Adjoining the reception area must be a 40-meter square lounge area where guests can sit and relax. You have to think of that seating there. And there is, of course, a built-in fireplace that is important, that needs to be part of your floor plan as well as your elevations. Included in the building must be a separate kitchen that adjoins the dining room. So this separate kitchen, let's read what it entails and how does it adjoin the dining room. The kitchen must be a minimum of 18 square meters. So they've put in a limit on that. And you'll see now in the next videos when you do the actual square meterage, this is important, 18 square meters. It needs to have sufficient built-in cupboards, work surfaces, and the space must be allocated for a fridge, a stove, and dishwasher. So all of these things that I'm highlighting now is actually specifications that fits into the kitchen. There must be a door that leads from this kitchen to the outside, and then a second door, another door leading from the kitchen into the dining room. So the kitchen and the dining room is actually joined here by a doorway. So it's not an open plan. Pay attention to that. The dining room must have sufficient space for small tables, 4 of them, and each with 2 chairs. So really, it's only for 8 people to be seated at that dining room, and a long serving table for displaying the breakfast items in the morning. So a display table needs to fit in there, and then 2 plastic water tanks, each between 2,000 and 3,000 liters, must be placed against one of the side walls of the building for the harvesting of rainwater. So important here, this sidewall, because these 2 tanks, if you look further on in the 2-point perspective, when we get to that tutorial, it must be visible in your 2-point perspective. So if it's on the back wall, it won't be, because you're going to be looking at that home from the front. So make sure your 2 water tanks is placed on a sidewall. So that's just a quick bonus tip there for you. There must be 3 equally sized bedrooms, each with its own ensuite bathroom. So in other words, the bathroom and the bedroom is connected. The maximum size that includes the ensuite is 38 square meters. So you can have it smaller. That's the maximum. And you're probably going to have to reduce this to save space, because we are limited to only 250. In each bedroom, there must be a double bed, built-in cupboard, small desk, and a comfortable chair. All the ensuites must have a toilet, wash basin, bath, and a shower. So a lot of stuff that needs to be fitted into that ensuite bathroom. They don't say anything in this document about a common toilet area like for guests that's just coming in through the front door. So that's something to make a note of. If you can fit that in, that would be helpful. There must be sufficient electrical lighting and switch socket outlets in all bedrooms. So consider the electrical diagrams here. You're going to have to think it through. Kitchen, lounge, dining room, and reception, switch sockets and lighting. There must also be sufficient electric lighting in each bathroom, as well as outdoor lighting on the veranda. Included in the design must be a motor vehicle entrance off Honeysuckle Street. So that's for visitors to actually drive into the site. And the driveway will be paved with one leading to a separate 5 by 5.5 by 5.5 meter double garage. So this is a separate building situated at the back of this building. It's not going to be attached.
So the garage is not also included in that 215, which is important, nor is it attached, like I've said. Parking area with 2 parking bays that make provision for visitors must be situated near the entrance of the building. So don't forget about these 2, especially in your site plan. The site has never been built on and would need to be cleared of any invasive vegetation and vegetation that will not be required. So we look at that now quickly at the site plan, but you can actually remove vegetation that's given on the site plan. All sewer, wastewater from the building will be connected to a manhole on the municipal sewer line on Honeysuckle Street. We look at that. And the client requires this project to be completed in 15 months' time. Of course, you don't have that much time, so please don't take 15 months. All right. Here is the actual site plan, and I'm just going to highlight 1 or 2 things on the site plan. That's again for you as a massive tip. Pay attention to this north arrow. It's in this direction. In other words, there's north. We've got south here, east, and west. And so the sun comes up here in the east. Noon, it's on the northern side. Sunset is on the west. What does that mean? That means your positioning of your house here needs to consider this, because you don't want on the southern side your bedrooms, your living areas, because it's going to be cold. They're never getting any sun. So on the southern side, it's more bathrooms, etc. And you want sunlight to really come in through into the house, into the different rooms. So just consider that in your actual layout. They also show you the alien vegetation as well as the indigenous trees, which you can remove, but start with those alien vegetations. And then the building line you need to consider, as well as the placement of the manhole. So a lot said. In my further videos, I'll really zoom in on the actual presentation requirements, which we will go through step by step. You'll know exactly what is required all the way. If we look to the floor plans, the 2 elevations here, the detailed section, we look at that. We look also at the site plan, the 2-point perspective, and lastly, the presentation requirements and how you need to put everything together in sequence for your final submission. Last thing I'd like to do is take you to this assessment criteria checklist that is at the back of your actual pad document. And my future videos will really zoom in on every component and making sure that you understand each one of these sections, because this checklist, as you go through it, you need to tick it off and make sure that you've met all the requirements given. And they start with the design brief, they work their way all the way through the floor plan, the 2 elevations, section, site plan, 2-point perspective, and even the continuous self-evaluation, as well as the presentation requirements. So all of that makes up the Engineering Graphics and Design 2025 PAT for grade 12s.
Wow, that seems like a lot of information, and I know it can overwhelm you. But this series, the How to Hack Your PAT series, will guide you and direct your actions. Yes, you will still have to work hard, plan, do your part. There's not going to be any free handouts, but my instruction and the videos to follow will surely make a difference in ensuring that you understand what is the requirements and how to get it done in time. So without any further ado, make sure you join as an all access member. Click on the join button and let's get working.